Near Camp David, Maryland, about 90 minutes outside Washington, D.C., police say a student's plot to attack her school was foiled because her father discovered what she was planning and then turned her in. CNN's Brian Todd is over at the school. Brian, this was more than just wishful thinking.
Seemed to be more than that, Wolf. Tonight, students, faculty members, and law enforcement officials are still processing what might have happened here. We're getting jarring new details of this 18-year-old's alleged plot to carry out a Columbine-style massacre inside this high school. Police say Nicole Severio was on a mission to massacre fellow students at her high school in the shadow of Camp David, and that she was prepared to die as part of her attack. Tonight, police say she'll face multiple charges, accused of amassing an arsenal, including a Remington 870 pump shotgun, fireworks, and nails, which police believe would be used to make pipe bombs.
Certainly she had the intent, the material, the means, and we believe it was going to happen.
In a twist that has left this small, tightly knit community reeling, police say the 18-year-old's plans were thwarted by her own father, who discovered her plot and turned her in to police before she could carry it out next week.
The father saw some behavioral changes over a period of time. For whatever reason, he looked into her journal or her diary. He reported that to the school authorities and my deputies basically at the same time.
Police discovered the weapons in the family's home. The sheriff here says the plans seemed advanced. He says Severio mentioned the Columbine and Sandy Hook school massacres in her diary, and that she had recorded details of the school's emergency procedures. Investigators believe Severio had been also studying the movements of a female sheriff's deputy assigned to the school.
We believe that she was probably watching her pattern of coming and going, probably watching or looking at the type of weapon she was carrying on her person.
Officials say Severio was also enrolled in a criminal justice program at the school district's career center nearby. Back at her high school, just 90 minutes north of Washington, there's a sense of disbelief.
She was always a really funny, sweet person. You would never think that it would be her to do something like this.
Like, I knew something was up with her, but I would have never imagined that it was this bad.
County school spokesman Michael Dorer says there was nothing unusual in Severio's disciplinary record.
Were there any signs of bullying, emotional issues, relationship issues with this student?
We had no indication whatsoever that there were any issues with this student.
But the sheriff says her diary tells a different story.
You could read the frustration, the emotional issues, the emotional problems she was having, talking about how she could conduct this shooting, the fact that she may have been the first female active school shooter in the country.
Tonight, there's sincere gratitude toward a father who had to make an excruciating decision to turn in his own daughter in order to save other people's children.
It had to be a very agonizing decision. It's a decision I'm sure no parent would ever want to make, but ultimately it was the right thing to do for his daughter. Very difficult, but the right thing to do.
Tonight, Nicole Severio is in a nearby hospital undergoing mental health evaluations. When she gets out, she's going to be taken into custody on explosives charges. She could face up to 50 years in prison. Her father has not spoken out publicly about this case. We reached out to him. He told us he did not want to comment. Wolf?
Is there any indication, Brian, anyone else was involved in this alleged plot?
No, Wolf, the sheriff tells us there is no indication they've gotten that anybody else was involved in this. This, according to the sheriff, was all Nicole Severio's plotting down to the detail. And he says she bought all of the weaponry, the shotgun, the ammunition, all the components for possible pipe bombs. She bought those legally, he says.
Very scary indeed. All right, Brian Todd up in Catoctin, Maryland. Brian, thanks very much. Coming up,